So yesterday I made a video on my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, the channel is called Anxiety Recovery with Albright. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and if in case there is a video that you want me to do, comment on one of the videos on YouTube. So yesterday on my YouTube I made a video that when I was in the anxiety cycle, I struggled with extreme fatigue. The kind of fatigue it was not just tiredness, it was like I had been hit by a train at night, and the whole time I was just sleeping. There is periods where I could struggle with chronic insomnia. Then there are periods where I could sleep once a week, even 4 times a month. So it was a balance. Sometimes I had insomnia, sometimes I could sleep. So that happened in the better part of my journey. But at the beginning of my anxiety journey, I struggled with restlessness. Guys, I couldn't sit down, I couldn't settle. I remember, and I don't know why my parents or even my family couldn't realize that I was restless. I always had something to do. I couldn't just sit on a couch like this. I couldn't just just sit on my bed or watch a movie or read a book. I couldn't. It was a struggle for the longest time. Inside, I had this feeling of impending doom, something, but like when I sit still, something is gonna happen. And also I always just had that energy to do something. I had this buzzing, I had this excess energy. I don't know if you guys also have struggled with just restlessness brought by anxiety. It is a struggle to most anxiety sufferers, and it happens because when you're struggling with anxiety, your brain believes that there is this perceived threat that you need to fight. Therefore, it's gonna send the stress hormones. I believe now you know what the stress hormones are: the adrenaline, the cortisol. So you have this excess, this overflow of adrenaline and cortisol, and so because this is a perceived threat. And what are the use of these stress hormones? To either fight or flee. So because there's no real threat that you need to fight, this energy is just gonna stay in your body. That's where now because you have excess of this energy within your body, it has nowhere to go. You're not fighting any threat, you're not fleeing from anything. So because you have this excess energy, that's where you can find yourself now. You are pacing, you can't sit still, you are pacing around the house, you're restless. I had my skin now was itchy. My head was itchy. Those are all symptoms of stress hormones in your body. So I endured it for a long time when I didn't understand what was happening, when I didn't understand how fear works, when I didn't understand anxiety. But once I understood that the restlessness is happening because first of all, you need to sit still. You need to train your mind to sit still, even if it's just 4 minutes a day, even if it's just 5 minutes. The next day it's 10 minutes, the next time it's 15 minutes. Train yourself to sit still, because when you're restless like that, it's like you're training your mind that there's danger. That's why you can't sit at a particular position